Choose the team you want to start your franchise with. Use the options on the left to edit. It's week 4 of the 2024 season, and all eyes are on Jared Goff. He's going to have to air it out plenty this week. It's the Lions and the Hawks on Monday Night Prime Time.
The seating capacity is 65,000 at Ford Field, and we are right around that number today. A good crowd on hand and seemingly ready to go in the Motor City. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that 2nd win in a row.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they were losers their last time. A couple of 2-1 teams set to square off, and we're underway here in NFL Week 4. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Now out come the Lions for their first drive behind their 9th-year quarterback in year number 4 with Detroit. It's Jared Goff.
I guess we're going to have to nickname him the thrower, aren't we, or something like that.
After last week?
I mean, man, you're talking about over 400 yards throwing the ball. The running backs and everyone else may be looking at him like, hey, don't forget us. And he'd probably just tell him, listen, you want to get involved?
Go out.
Go out and catch some passes. I'll make sure you touch it.
That's to the tight end, Laporta. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up 2nd down. Off play action. Here's Goff. That's into the hands of Donovan Peoples-Jones. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A gain there of 21 yards. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Play action. It's Goff. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Gibbs. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. A man who was the Georgia State High School Player of the Year in 2020. Here's Jahmyr Gibbs. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. They'll go again with Gibbs. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
That's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. 2nd and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through, and has a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a 3rd down.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Lions first down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2. Well, they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chain, so they didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right? Make sure you pick up the first down. Offense is getting established. You're moving the ball. You're not turning it over. Check, check, check. They like what they're doing early in the game.
Here's 2nd and 10. They'll fake the give. Now Goff. Complete to right. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. We'll see what they have drawn up here a little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. Back to throw. Goff. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
Like any team playing, they're looking for touchdowns to try and help their cause. But in this case, he does get them a little closer at least if they think a field goal turns out to be the better call here.
Here's Michael Badgley ready for the field goal try. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. Badgley's kick is good, and the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. No touchdown there, but if that first drive is any indication, looks like they're going to have a pretty good day passing the football.
I would say confidence would have to be pretty high after that first drive, able to throw it almost at will. You're exactly right. They didn't get the touchdown, but 3 points serves as a nice notice about how this offense is going to move.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Seahawks set to go on offense here, and it is the Pro Bowler Geno Smith at quarterback, Charles, in his 12th NFL season.
And the guys on the other side of the ball know they'll have to be on their toes. And it's obviously not just the passing, but the running element that makes him dangerous. He ran for over 100 yards in that game last week, so keeping him contained will be a big emphasis for this defense.
They'll begin here with a run with Charbonnet. Now this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Again, it's Charbonnet. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. The numbers for him from a week ago: 24 carries, 104 yards, and a score as well.
I think he's exactly where he wants to be coming into a game, partner, because he has to still be riding the momentum from last week when he broke the century mark in rushing and had one of his best individual efforts of the season. I would expect that there's more from him on the way after that type of a game, and I know his teammates and coaches, they feel exactly the same way.
And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. On 1st and 10, it's Charbonnet. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Out of the gun, a give to Charbonnet. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. 10 yards and a Seattle first down. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. To throw is Smith. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And the Seahawks are going to have a 1st and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line. Smith now to throw. Out to the right, he gets it to Lockett. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Tyler Lockett, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks are able to answer the early 3 points and take a first quarter lead. Well, Charles, here in their opening series, they said they had certain plays scripted for certain players. That looked like a well-designed play to get one of their top targets involved.
Yeah, let's face it, Brandon. A player of his talent is a problem for any opponent to defend, and we saw it right there. They tried to deny an open lane to him. He still outplayed the coverage and scored the early touchdown. Good luck trying to figure out how to defend him as this game moves on.
The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Back onto the field come the Lions for their 2nd overall drive. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
In motion, the tight end. Second down, and they go back to Gibbs. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
When Leonard Williams was picked in the 2015 NFL Draft, I compared him to Merlin Olsen, and I got a lot of grief about it. Did you just see that play there? Did you see how he made that move and made that tackle? That was Merlin Olsen-esque.
Yeah, I just perked up when you said Merlin Olsen.
Yeah, a lot of people said, hey, that's too much, too far, and maybe it is early, but I think this guy has a chance of fulfilling that.
And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return, and it'll be Seahawk football 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Smith. This is Fant on the short completion. And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches. The Seahawks will call on Michael Dixon on 4th down to punt this one away. Back deep, Khalif Raymond. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
Here's Goff. Throw left side, caught by Laporta. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. Here now, 3rd and a yard. Goff now to throw. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Good clean play, no flags coming out of the pocket of the officials. Turns into an incompletion, and that should get them off the field with a 3 and out.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. And now a handoff to Charbonnet. He gets away from 1. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Marcus Davenport, the first rounder out of UTSA with a sack.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7. And the Lions will take over. And Detroit getting set to go now.
Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. And they start things off with a carry by Gibbs here.
And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion left.
2nd down, and they go back to Gibbs.
And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48.
Here's 3rd and a few inches. Gibbs will try and pick it up.
And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, good enough to extend the drive.
On 1st and 10, here's Gibbs.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
From the 41, here's a 2nd and 7.
Here's Goff. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1.
After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Second quarter action now from Detroit, and it's the homestanding Lions who have the football. The Lions on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7.
Now Goff.
He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield.
And they move this all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, there wasn't anybody close enough to stop him. And he was able to continue downfield after making the catch.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. A shotgun snap for Goff. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
St. Brown in motion right. Gibbs straight ahead.
And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense going to have to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal line.
Yeah, still yet to find the end zone. So the margin shrinks there as they get the field goal to draw them a bit closer here in the second quarter.
Yeah, nice snap, nice hole. They just want to keep this game close, so give them credit for finishing that one off with 3.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Zach Charbonnet and his teammates back to the field for another drive.
He's been effective so far, over the 40-yard mark here in the second quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
Off of play action, here's Smith. It's complete to Lockett. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down. Now Smith.
Man open left side is Brown. So the completion good for 7 there, and that will bring up second down.
And from the gun, here's a handoff to Charbonnet. And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. 60 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
And we're at the 41, 2nd and 9.
Now Geno. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6.
Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Geno now to throw.
They'll set up a screen to Charbonnet.
And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up.
While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This from 54 yards away. And he hits the upright, but it caroms in anyway. Boy, plenty of distance there as he banks it in. And they bump the lead up to 4 now at 10-6.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The Lions offense and Jahmyr Gibbs headed back onto the field.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline, nowhere to go. Here he lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up.
Inside the 10.
And they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week. He's smiling. The extra point now coming from Myers. It's good, and now it's an 11-point lead, 17-6. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
So out now come the Lions. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
A little short pass here taken in by Laporta.
I know when you got a top tight end like this, you want to get him involved, but when you do, you're hoping for more than that.
You certainly are. You've got to try and get him some space where he can make a play downfield or at least an opportunity for some rack yardage, right? That run after catch.
And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36.
And hold on here because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. In motion right, Peoples-Jones. On 3rd down, here's Gibbs.
And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd. Here's Goff. A little short pass here taken in by Laporta. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. The Lions at 2-1 now to start the campaign, and they move back above 500 with a victory last week.
And you look at their start, a win, a loss, then a win. This might be something we see from them a lot this year, because when they're at their best, they can play with anybody. But bringing their best every week, that's been a challenge thus far.
Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more. Goff. He's got it complete to Gibbs. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down. Straight ahead with Gibbs here. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. Now, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. Now a 2nd and 6. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Goff now looks to throw. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Oh, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. That's complete to Laporta. And he won't quite make it. He needed 6. He got about 5. 4th down. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Badgley able to knock this one through, and that'll make this an 8-point game. So they get the 3. It was 4th and 1, and I think you were doing what I was doing. I was looking down at the sideline. I'm not sure the offensive unit wanted the 3. They wanted to go for it.
But when have we ever seen a unit that didn't want to go for it in that situation, right? Sometimes it's just way more important to have the points on the board than to worry about any type of a gamble.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Zach Charbonnet and his teammates back to the field for another drive. And it may just be the second quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. So from the 37, here's 2nd and a couple. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. There's Charbonnet once again. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 77 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
On the give, here's Charbonnet. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. The offense on 3rd down tonight, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 8. Throwing now is Gino. That is caught. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A 3rd down gain of 19.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember.
Plenty of shouts from this crowd as they watch the replay. They want a challenge, and they're going to get one. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down. Out of the gun, Smith. It's caught, block it. And the Seahawks are going to be set up with a 1st and goal here as the tackle made at the 9. They'll fake it. Now Smith. This will be caught at about the 5. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Now it's Smith. He finds Smith and Jigba in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown pass. And the Seahawks have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Now Myers for the extra point. And the lead is up to 15 now. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it was capped off by a Jackson Smith and Jigba touchdown catch. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. So here come the Lions now. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. He's got right on the short throw. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. Play action. It's Goff. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And that's caught inside the 30. A big play there for Detroit. 41 yards.
So often when we're watching a football game, we see one with a lot of ebbs and flows, and this one is no different. And sometimes you just need a big play to wake you up a bit. And they get one right there. That shot of caffeine this offense was looking for.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Goff throwing again. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
That's a big force incompletion there to bring up 3rd and long, and this defense can still salvage a little momentum by forcing them to kick a field goal. Because just a few plays ago, they looked like they were headed towards the end zone.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have the Lions 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet. as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
And they'll send the tight end in motion. Gone. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
Again, Goff. He gets this out wide to Gibbs. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll get our tour started out at Venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. And they are seconds away from halftime, all tied in that one. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. We were certainly treated to an entertaining first half. Both these teams with some high points and maybe a couple of low points as well. So it's going to be a question of who can be the most disciplined team going forward.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. Oh, a good return up past the 30. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. And I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Here's Smith. This is Fant on the short completion. And that's good for a gain of 6. And that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Pass to the sideline and pulled in.
And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out.
Well, that's one way to convert on third down, picking up 26 yards.
Normally on third down and short yardage, you're thinking to throw to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
To throw is Smith. Throw left side complete. That's Brown. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
From the 21, here's a 2nd and 8.
Smith throwing again.
Smith and Jigba with a grab.
It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go.
They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
Offensive line wasn't set. There's the flag, and 5 yards back they go.
Quarterback has to look around and make sure that his team is ready to go. Sometimes the quarterbacks go faster than is necessary.
And a manageable 3rd down becomes a lot less manageable. 3rd and 7 after the false start. Here's Smith. Escaping. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Justin Houston drops him for a 4-yard loss there, and that brings up 4th down. Now here's Jason Myers. He gets set for the Seahawk field goal.
Made his first, this now from 42 yards out.
Myers' kick is good.
And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Lions offense and Jared Goff set to take over once more. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
In motion goes the tight end. To throw is Goff.
Open man is Raymond. He's got it.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. An effective 7-yard 3rd down conversion.
Counter play. Here's Gibbs.
And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a 1st down.
Goff now looking to throw.
A little short pass here taken in by Laporta.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up.
While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Now back to the ground. Here's Gibbs. 43 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Here's Goff.
Got St. Brown running the quick slant here.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 15-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Now Goff.
He'll go right back to St. Brown.
They'll give him 4 yards there, and it's 2nd down. Now it's Goff. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. To the air again. Goff.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And the Seahawks are going to take possession here as they've got it at their own 4-yard line. So this defense, Charles, quite a performance. Not working on a shutout, but they have still yet to give up a touchdown as they come up with the interception there.
Well, we've seen this from them before because you can move the ball on them through the middle of the field, but once you get into the red zone, that's where they really clamp down. They come up with the interception there, but you know about this crew. They're playing modern defense, taking care of the red zone, third downs, and getting after the quarterback.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They take over here following the interception. That's the good news. The tough spot is the spot that they're in. That's inside the 5 in the shadow of their own goalpost here. 1st and 10. Brian Branch from the secondary in on the tackle. 2nd down and 6 now. A run now with Charbonnet. And just not much to be had there. 1 yard out to the 10. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
First target, first catch at a 1st down. On the carry, Charbonnet. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
And this is going to be incomplete.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The home team's offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And it's been a rough night at the office for him. He's been more of a liability than an asset throughout the contest. And this offense is having a hard time overcoming his struggles to this point. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. A big mistake last time they were on the field, tossing that interception inside the red zone and really taking away what had been a pretty successful drive up to that point.
Yeah, and I don't think there's any question about it. As they head out on the field for this drive, that whole offensive unit is just thinking redemption. You know, they moved it really well, didn't pay it off. This time, they want to make sure that ball ends up in the end zone, and they're the ones possessing it.
Now that'll be caught by St. Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Goff to St. Brown for the Detroit 1st down. They'll bring the tight end in motion right. Goff. It's caught. Mitchell. Just a gain of a couple there, and that'll make it 2nd down. Throwing again is Goff. That's another one complete to Mitchell. And he's taken down inside the 30. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
Now Goff. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Back to throw, Goff. A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Here's Goff. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
As expected, he's gone to him several times in this game, but that's the first time one has slipped from his grasp. I'll bet he goes back to him, though. He's an excellent player.
Out of the gun, Goff. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Rayshawn Jenkins picks it off. And the Seahawks are going to get the football back at their own 17. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here, maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
And he roams across the 20 to the 24-yard line. 105 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. Play action. It's Smith. And he's got Smith and Jigba. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They get 17 on that one. Move the chains. 1st down, Seahawks. Here's Charbonnet. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. Tackled by Emmanuel Mosley. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now at Ford Field. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th and final quarter. On the option, it's Charbonnet. And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. Gain of just 1. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This time it's 3rd and 3. Now Smith. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Seahawks 1st down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards. They'll run it here with Charbonnet. And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30. 1st down, Seattle, 16 yards the gain there. Now it's Smith off the bootleg. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Lee McNeil, what an effort to get in there and drop him. A CD, a little bit of feast or famine for him. He's had some success throwing the football, but also now he's been sacked 4 times.
Yeah, you just mentioned the 4 sacks, but you're right. He has managed to hang in there and make plays at times. His offensive line, they've got to figure it out and pick things up and give him more opportunities, and he has to help them by getting rid of the ball a little bit quicker as well.
And they'll run on 3rd down with Charbonnet. And he will not get what he needed as he stops short of the 1st down at around the 22. He's able to chew up 8 yards on the carry there, but still 4th down upcoming.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
But, you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Time for another look at this Lions offense. And this group has suffered far too many self-inflicted wounds thus far as we run through some of the mistakes. It's darn near impossible to win in this league when you're turning the ball over at the frequency that they have. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one. They'll probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish. 23 yards, the final tally. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Gone. Setting up the screen. This is Gibbs. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. From the 25, here's 2nd down and 2. From the gun, here's Goff. A little short pass here taken in by Laporta. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. They'll fake the give. Now Goff. And in for the Lions touchdown. James Mitchell. His first touchdown on the year. And the Lions are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you'd kept them out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
Michael Badgley on for the extra point. And that one makes this an 11-point deficit now. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Seahawks offense and running back Zach Charbonnet set for this next possession. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout. Off of play action, here's Smith. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Geno. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Marcus Davenport able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Now Geno. This is Fant on the short completion. And he'll be out of bounds near the 30. In fact, right on the 30. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the 4th, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. If they continue to throw these safe passes, who can blame them?
Following the punt return here, there is someone shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10 at the 34. In motion, the tight end. Drive starts with a run from Gibbs. And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. A little short pass here taken in by Laporta. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a 1st down. Goff now to throw. Finds Gibbs on the check down. So that'll be no better than an incompletion, and it'll be 2nd down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. That's complete to Laporta. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. Here is 3rd down and 4. Here's Goff. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Gibbs. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
4th down to give to Gibbs. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Good spot on the field to go for it. Kind of no man's land, as they call it, and it worked out.
Yeah, they call it no man's land because your punter is telling you it's too short. I'm just going to punt it into the end zone. Your field goal kicker might give you a little raised eyebrow, might be too far for the field goal, so it gives you a great chance to go for it. Personally, if you have those tendencies to be aggressive as a head coach, you kind of like this spot because it gives you the decision to go ahead and go for it when you want to anyway.
So the completion results there in 9 yards, and it'll bring up a 2nd and short. Toss left to Montgomery. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. Goff now looking to throw. And yet again, Goff is intercepted. Picked off by Reek Woolen. And the Seahawks are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line.
Partner's bad enough when you just can't hold on to the football. But when your quarterback's throwing it to the other team, that's 3 interceptions now, 4 turnovers for the game. You really have no chance to win the football game.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They have to like the position that they are in. 4th quarter, 2-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT. They'll begin here with a run with Charbonnet. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, 4th quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there.
And this is seemingly how it's been all game long. This defense has been just a step too slow. And here they're burned again. Another big play.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10. Down at the 33. And now a handoff to Charbonnet. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. Well, at this stage, that's exactly what you want offensively. Good run on 1st down, stay in bounds, keep that clock rolling.
And look at that play chart that the play caller has in his hands right now. That's what you got to focus in on because that's divided up by sections. And right now, he's looking at that 4-minute offense section. What running plays do we have to bleed down the clock and take care of the football? Right now, they're executing really well.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. He's got Brown on the out route complete. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Five points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on first down. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Again, it's Charbonnet. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down, and that should just about do it. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. The Seahawks in victory formation as they go ahead and take the knee. Down to a knee, here goes Smith, and that should all but do it.
And with that kneel down at the end of the game, partner, they now get to 3-1. This is a good football team we saw in this game.
It is indeed getting to 2 games above 500, and I know early on, while they said they wanted to win every game, they thought they would be solid with a 3-1 start, and here they are.
Yeah, you break your schedule up almost into quarters, every 4 games, and assess 3-1. Any team would take that.
So the victory here for Seattle. And we talk so much about the turnover battle, determining who wins, who loses. This game, no exception. Air-free football, no turnovers at all, and they win it.
So this is one you don't have to convince your team that what you're saying is accurate. And you know what I'm talking about. Head coach always stands up in front of the team and says, guys, if we do this, this, and this, we'll win. And usually they say if we win the turnover battle, we'll win. Well, here's the proof right there. Win the turnover battle. Go on to victory. Now the guys believe. You move on to the next lesson where you have to convince them. This one is now planted.
So for the Seahawks, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Lions, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And fortunately for them, they'll have the early bye next week as they return to action in Week 6. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.